Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? This your boy Surrender, man, coming back at you, hitting you upside the head. As you can see, man, we have something new that we want to try to introduce to the channel. For all you guys that don't know, you're in the Leafofvitalessentials world. And what we want to try to do, man, is educate ourselves on herbs, right? So what I want to try to do is start a series. We're going to try to go from A to Z. There may be some herbs we may miss. There may be some herbs that we are going to surprise you on that you may didn't know about. So like, share, subscribe to the channel because this is going to be very fun. All right, let's go. All right, so our herb of the day is Abscess Root. Now, I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of that. I can't say that I have either. I have heard of abscess, but I always thought that had something to do with the mouth. But here we know that it's a herb, all right? Now, what is abscess root? What are some of the constituents? Let's get to know the herb. The common name for abscess root is sweat root. A lot of times when we're looking at herbs and when we're trying to figure out what are some of the signatures of that herb, a lot of times we can tell by the common names, okay? So this gives me some idea of maybe what this herb will do. Common name is sweat root. The scientific name that we have here is Polemonium reptans. Polemonium reptans. All right, that's the scientific name. Missed my E there on name. And what are some of the actions? Actions for a herb is what do the herb actually do when put inside my body? All right. And a lot of herbs, and this is why it's so important to understand herbs, because the medicine that we get from the medical practices sometimes yes, it's very concentrated, but it only does one thing. And a lot of times it'll pull from one thing in order to help something else. So to rob Peter to pay Paul. But a lot of these herbs have a lot of different qualities that they do. And that's the great thing about herbs. You can take one herb that'll do 4 or 5 different things. And that's no different than abscess root. So here we see that the actions for this particular root is it is a diaphoretic. A diaphoretic is something that will induce sweating. All right. And this is very important for when you have fevers and when you want to try to detox the skin and things of that nature. It is also an expectorant. All right. What is an expectorant? It is something that induces a person to cough up mucus. So this is very good for any kind of respiratory issues. OK. It is also an alterative. Alterative is something to do with inflammation and things of that nature. So it's good for that. And it's also an astringent. An astringent is something that is good for reducing something in size, constricting something. So it's good for that. Now, what is it used for? So based on some of the actions, now you know what you can use it for. So for a fever, I can tell why it's a diaphoretic, to induce sweating and try to get your temperatures up there, because we know that high temperatures will allow your immune system to fight off germs at a better rate, right? So it being an expectorant, we know then that's good for any kind of lung issues like bronchitis, coughs, and tuberculosis. It is a alterative, so we know it's good for inflammation. Again, something that'll be good for bronchitis, tuberculosis, pleurisy. It is also an astringent, something that we know that will constrict, and that'll be good also for bronchitis, pleurisy, and tuberculosis, okay? So now, what are some of the doses for this? We'll try to give doses too. I can't promise you that everything's going to have dosage and everything, but a good thing for this one is that it gives us a dosage. Now, the recommended dose for abscess root is 1 ounce of abscess root to 1 pint of water. 1 ounce to 1 pint of water. You allow it to gently simmer for about 20 minutes. Anytime you're dealing with roots, you want to try to let them simmer on the stove. You want them to boil and simmer for about 10 to 20 minutes. That really brings the medicinal properties out of the roots. When you're dealing with loose leaf tea, you can, kind of put a little hot water over that like you do your normal tea bags, and then that'll suffice. All you need for a loose leaf tea is about 5 to 10 minutes for that, okay? Now, after you let it simmer, the recommended usage is a half a cup every 2 hours for acute conditions. So if you're dealing with something like bronchitis and a real bad cough or tuberculosis or a real bad fever, you drink this every 2 hours. Drink a half a cup. Okay? Otherwise, if you're just dealing with mild conditions, 3 times a day. Okay? And this is your herb of the day, Abscess Root. If you guys got any questions or concerns, any type of remedy that you know about that's dealing with Abscess Root, feel free to chime in and comment on our YouTube page. Again, you can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. And you can also subscribe and share and do all you can to support the station on YouTube, Leafofvitalessentials.com. It's been your boy, Surrender, and I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it. Till next time, peace.